Luxury flats! No way! Ridley Road! Here to stay! Luxury flats! No way! Ridley Road! Here to stay! Luxury flats! No way! Ridley Road! Here to stay! Luxury flats! No way!
You've just been listening to a community demonstration and they were chanting Ridley Road here to stay, luxury flats, no way. And I want to tell you how that came about. Because they were outside a building called the Ridley Road Shopping Village, which was a covered market. It was purchased by an offshore developer based in the British Virgin Islands for £6.5 million. The company that's bought the building served notice on the traders on the ground floor to get out, 14 days to get out, saying they had no security of tenure, there were merely licensees and they have no right to be there and must leave. Well, some of those traders have been trading there for 20 years, 25 years, like the jeweller, and had given notice a few months earlier to the artists upstairs, 60 artists, they've all got to get out too, so that the building can be demolished. But the planning application that the developer put in said the building was vacant, which of course it wasn't.
Coming up with plans for things that could happen here that don't have anything to do with us, people who work here now. I got involved in the Save Ridley Road campaign group when members of the community in Hackney heard in November 2018 about the eviction notices for the shopping village in Ridley Road. What we did initially as a campaign was come together with the traders, first of all to get a petition out to people in Hackney supporting the traders. Around 10,000 people eventually signed that petition. That made the council know that this was an issue that people in the area cared about. The other thing we did was go as a big group down to the offices of the developers, Rainbow, in West Hampstead. We turned up in a group of about 20 of us with placards and banners. We went up into their office unannounced and the traders sat down at the desk and said, look, we're the people who you're going to evict. What are you going to do about it? And the developers said, well, okay, let's rethink. And now most of the traders on the ground floor of the shopping village are still there, still running their businesses. The artists on the upper two floors are still there. The campaign has continued to grow. People have got to know one another better. Like, we're stronger, we're more knowledgeable. And we're starting to think now about a positive future for Ridley Road Shopping Village.
My name is Aslı and I'm from Turkey. I started this business 3 years ago. Well, I start ladies' clothing. There are sometimes men's and kids as well, but mainly ladies, casual wear, evening wear and party dresses I sell. And sometimes, as you see, bags and shoes as well. Well, this market may look rough and dangerous to some people. It's actually nice, friendly market that everyone knows each other. When you walk around, you can see lots of kids playing. It's either their parents have a shop here, or they just come with their parents to do shopping. It's a big community here. They're supporting each other.
I came from Jamaica as a 12-year-old in 1972. My main dream really when I first came here, I felt like a king and things was going all right, and Kingsland High Road, I said, yeah, that would be suitable for me. With my carvings, people from the movies, theatres, they will all come down. At the moment, I'm doing CDs, DVDs, and mainly vinyl records.
I'm from West Africa, Guinea. I came here in 2001 in England. I used to trade in Petticoat Lane. Since 2003, I did like 3 years there. And then I realized that my products was more better in the black community area, which is like a lot of black people was here in Dalston. I started doing markets in Ridley Road 2006. My stock is different to anyone in the market. It's like I'm bringing African things into the market, you know. Most of them from Senegal, Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya. I got some different things, you know, coming from everywhere.
We're here at Ridley Road Studios in Dalston, and we've been open for 12 years. We're offering artists affordable workspaces. You're here in my studio. I also run a studio with 5 or 6 ceramicists, and I'm a ceramicist myself. We do have fashion designers, photographers, 50% fine artists.
I'm a photographer and an artist, and I've been working here for a couple of years, and it's a really friendly and nice place to work from. It's also affordable, and it gives us a chance to develop our work. I share our unit with 3 other artists. I know the people on this floor, on the first floor, and I also have friends who work downstairs on the ground floor in a shopping village. We use the space for workshops sometimes, for performances. Other people in the building have put in exhibitions.
I'm an artist living in London since 2002, and I've had a studio here at Ridley Road since 2007. I'm a painter and I make work on different surfaces. The work behind me is a work on aluminium.
So the first pictures I took on Ridley Road is almost 10 years ago. And over the years I've had a lot of conversations with traders about the history of the market. And these conversations, alongside photographs, have gone into this book about Ridley Road. Ridley Road has a really long history, and I realized when I went to archives and libraries that not much of it was actually written down. So it was really important to me to capture these histories that people hold in their memories, and also using newspaper cuttings of local resistance and a really strong unity here in the 60s when fascists turned up on the market. For me, it's just a very, very special place because community here has always shown that when we support each other and when we stick together, we can win.
Dalston is becoming gentrified at such a fast rate. Desk spaces are under the same umbrella as artist workspaces. Who's going to win, basically? Obviously the desk spaces, and leaving artist workspaces to be pushed out of London. A studio like this, with a wood burner, a kiln and messy floor, these are the sorts of places that are going to be extinct.
The community here has thrived specifically because the street hasn't been redeveloped. And like everyone else on the street, the artists have survived because the rent has been kept low.
Because developers aren't interested in the rents, they're interested in getting the building vacant so that they can redevelop it, perhaps demolish it and redevelop it. And that's what was happening here. The building had been run down to ruin, there was no proper management.
This place you could hardly move in it, but now look at it. The building weren't looked after properly, security was well. Personally, to what I see, it's like, say you go on an Africa safari, right? And you see this guy in a big helicopter, and he goes like that. You see the animal running, and he goes, and he dart that animal. That animal will be running, but only for a period of time. And that's how I see it so far.
Been in this market for 50 years. I was born and bred here. I was born in the German hospital at the other end of the market. I lived in the market when I was young with my parents, and my parents all worked in here. I'm the 4th generation to be here. The shopping village is another asset to the market because it covers a hell of a lot of storage areas for traders in the market. Plus it's well known. I mean, the shopping village has been there for years. To be quite true, I think it was Tesco's at one time, going back all the years ago. And over the years, it's built up into like a kind of all small units in there where the traders trade from. Obviously developers have come in to actually redevelop the whole area, but I don't think they've took a lot of consideration for the people that work in there.
The developers put in the planning application and it was to demolish the building and build 10 luxury flats and some high-class offices.
Once we had found out what the planning application was for, we started to organise as a group with the traders, with some supportive people with legal knowledge, with people from the local area, people who shop on Ridley Road all the time, to start getting people in Hackney to submit objections to the council, to let the council know what public opinion about this proposed redevelopment was. We got hundreds of people to submit objections. The council has continually kicked the decision on that planning application down the road, and now 18 months, almost 2 years after the initial planning application was put in, it still hasn't been decided on by the council.
As part of the campaign, we applied to the council to have the shopping village declared an asset of community value. And it found that because of the cultural uses upstairs, the 60 small independent trading units on the ground floor, and the market storage facilities in the basement and the open space, the building did meet the social interests and serve community well-being. But the developer wants to replace most of that with luxury flats and offices, so the community interests will be substantially damaged. So in the face of wealthy developers and their armies of consultants, it'll take a strong planning committee to refuse the application.
Planning policies exist in favour of developers, and communities have very little say, and they're limited to how much they can influence decisions on their doorstep and that will affect their lives.
Not only is there no reason for the application as it stands to be approved by the council, but it would be perfectly possible to redevelop the shopping village in the interest of the existing community.
Anybody out there alive? Hello? Looky, looky, looky. I started when I was 5, selling cauliflowers for a shilling each on my nan's stall. And I've been here 45 years. Why am I leaving? There's loads of reasons why I'm leaving, really. One is the containers down there. They're not there no more, and we've all got to get out. There's other people, there's not only us that are attached to that building, there's people that got businesses up there. They've got to get out, they've got to find new premises. You've got people in there that had little shops. They've had to find little shops and go somewhere else. I don't think it's fair, really. Taking someone's livelihood away just so they can build luxury flats. I think it's disgusting.
If it all goes ahead and they have to close it to do the development, it's going to cause a lot of problems. But there's a lot of small businesses in there who have been working in there for as long as I've been here. I've been working down in this market now for 25 years, but my family has been down here for about 100 years all in.
I would hate to see the market change as we know it today, and for the redevelopment to take place and not think of the people who have put so much time and effort into building it up.
When they redevelop the shopping village, it's going to cause such upheaval because you've got big lorries coming in here. You're going to have to move pitches, which is not right because people have been on these pitches all their life. So why should they have to move?
And the development will mean those 60 artists will be evicted. The small independent businesses will be reduced by 2/3 in number, and half of the storage for the market traders will be lost. There will be enormous damage to the market because this building is integral to its operation.
I would say 70% of the traders in Ridley Road, they have to probably get up at 2 or 3 in the morning, do their buying, buy their goods, bring them home, unload, pack out their stalls, trade all day. So when you look at it really, if you're starting at 6 in the morning till 6 at night, that's a 12-hour day. Plus, the fruit guys that probably start at 3 o'clock, now it's a 15-hour day. Now what happens is there, which sounds bad enough, but what they're saying is as well, that you have to work the days that are on your licence. So if you add that up, it comes to a 90-hour week. There's anybody in this country that would work a 90-hour week.
If the risks to the market this year weren't bad enough with this planned development, Hackney also decided to introduce new regulations. And the new regulations are, I have a copy of them here, 35 pages. I mean, when I first started in Hackney and I used to advise the traders, the regulations were 6 pages, 60 clauses, and here they are from back in the early 90s. But here are the new regulations, 35 pages, 240 regulations that traders are supposed to comply with.
We weren't consulted on any of these changes in terms and conditions or fees and charges, so it was literally almost a bolt out of the blue.
We believe that we have done consultation and engagement.
They've never ever sat down and done a draft with us at all. So we had no knowledge of this until the actual booklet came out.
You need regulations to make sure that the market operates in a safe and fair way.
The council are over-regulated. We feel that they're over-regulated. We want a free market here.
Some of the rules are just ridiculous. It's like being back at school.
Basically, the new regulations, they're like taking our rights away. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a permanent trader, but right now these new regulations, they can move me anytime. So what's the point of being a permanent if they can just take your license away?
Now they want to own you. They want to dictate to you.
The council are acting as our employers by introducing lots of terms and conditions and rules, but they don't actually pay our wages.
I've been in this market 50 years and I've never heard or seen anything like this. And people that I know up and down the country that work markets, they can't believe me. They really can't believe what I'm telling them.
Another impact of the development, if it gets planning permission, is that the consultants are saying that 28 of the pitches on that end of Ridley Road Market will have to be moved out of the way because they will obstruct the construction traffic. Well, that's about a quarter of the market will have to close for the period of the development, which could be 12 months or more.
Will it have an impact on the actual market? Yes, personally, I think it will. If there was any development happening in Ridley Road, what would happen is that basically we would sit down with the council and we'd work out a solution that the developers could work around the market without affecting the market through market trading days. The council, for whatever reason, they've completely tried to change these rules and make it that the developers take priority over the traders. And that means basically what it is that if for any reason there's any development in the market, under the new rules, or under the new terms and conditions, what will happen is the council can move any trader wherever they like in the market, if there's any available space, that is.
I'm going to lose customer because then the market, lots of customers when they're coming in, and if they see the person is not in his speech, they just walk back. They don't even ask, they walk home, they go.
The community will suffer basically. I mean, most of my customers are the local people here, and we know them like almost personally, their name, their surname, family, how many kids they have, because it's like a community here. I mean, they regularly come and buy from us. I mean, if they close half of the market that end.
Under the new regulations, for whatever reason this council's brought this in, they've completely changed it and made it virtually impossible for a good honest trader to work.
Being at the market is something that I chose because of the flexibility. I'm able to juggle what I need to do as a mother, but also I can work financially and provide for them. If all the rules and regulations are passed, then my flexibility will be out of my hands and I may have to leave the market.
I think there's a different range of views about how many of those are actually regulations and how much are explanatory notes and explaining what we're trying to do here.
And these regulations are not advisory, they are requirements. And the Act says that if you breach these regulations, enforcement action will be taken, you can be prosecuted because it is a criminal offence and you can lose your livelihood.
So they don't consider that you have a life, you have a family, you've been a long time here. For them it's just a pen and paper. They say, we don't renew your license.
None of it is supposed to be in place to make traders' lives any more difficult than it needs to be. It's about supporting a safe and fair market.
It seems like they're just trying to make it harder and harder for us to work and earn a living, and any little things that they can do to make it tricky, they are. They're trying to implement new rules which is going to practically make it impossible for us to work.
If you break it down, it means the same thing, you are going. When we tell you to go, you gotta go.
It's like North Korea border basically. 5-6 inspectors walking up and down. I mean, it's not militarized zone or something.
The new regulations and the Hackney Council fees and charges in the market were approved using officers' powers, so it never went to the mayor's cabinet or an elected committee. Democracy was sidestepped.
The thing is, I mean, when you look at the size of this country to the size of this market, it's one road, this market, and this one road has got more regulations than Brexit. It's unbelievable. It's just basically, it'll come to a stage where the traders just can't work anymore.
There's been a huge rise in land values locally, resulting in massive increases of rents and house prices. So the developers have now alighted on Ridley Road, and one owner made £2 million in 12 months buying and selling the building. As part of its planning policies for the next 15 years, the Dalston plan, Hackney have described the whole of the north side of Ridley Road as an opportunity site. And when you look at the planning policies, it says the aim is to protect and preserve the market. Fine words are one thing, but when you look at the other developments that have happened locally, for example, that tower 57 East, 98 flats, only 15 of those flats are affordable, although the policy was 50%. And even the affordable flats are not affordable to local people. And it's the same with Dalston Square, recently developed, where only 12% of all the flats built were for affordable use, and very few of those were for family use, which is the greatest need we have in the local area. So as a result, many people have had to leave Hackney and leave London. Families and communities have been broken up.
It's more affluent people who have actually replaced the people that we used to serve, and now we tend to serve a lot of the older people who have known us for many years. So you don't get too many younger people coming through here, primarily because a lot of them can't afford to live anywhere near here, number one. And number two, the more affluent people don't tend to shop over here anyway.
In the last 10 years, there have been hundreds of new flats built in Dalston, mostly on what was public land. The authorities said they wanted to attract a critical mass of better off people.
Dalston Lane, if you look at the way they build the place now, it's not for some customer that used to be here. They move a lot of people outside London. When they bring some people that don't even need our business because we don't see them around here, they don't support the market.
The people that only got a certain amount of money to spend, they're not catering for them. They want them out of the way so they can bring posh people in. But posh people don't do us no favours, because posh people don't want to spend their money. That is the beginning. The beginning and the end of Ridley Road, I'm telling you.
And Ridley Road Market is key for the people of Hackney, because in Hackney we have probably the 4th highest child poverty in the United Kingdom. And they might visit the food bank, but more likely they'll visit Ridley Road Market to get their fresh fruit and vegetables and fish and enjoy each other's company.
When I walk down the market, especially on a sunny day and the light reflecting off everything and the vibrant colours, and you feel so much more alive and part of something than if you walk into M&S and everything's sealed off in little containers. And you could be on the Starship Enterprise. I hope that Ridley Road will survive with that sense of visceralness and materiality.
Living and working on the market has been a privilege for the last 13 years. And the market just has the most incredible diversity of people, given me an opportunity to feel a sense of genuine spirit amongst the community.
I've been working in the market for the past 10 years. I'm from Afghanistan originally. I've been living in the UK for the 21 years coming. And I'm the only carpet man in the market actually, which is really good for me, and I enjoy working in the market. The very best thing about this market, I'm sure, is for the elderly people, that they are saying instead of being home alone, they're coming for a walk and talk to all the traders, because everybody almost knows them. They've been here for a long time and they're coming at least 3 or 4 times a week. always come in the market to talk to people or buy something, get their fruits and veg, even they buy rugs for me, and then they go home happy and really freshen up everything.
Yeah, when I started I was about 14, 13 down the waist. My mum's been coming here from the 60s. It's a great market, you know what I mean? Cold in the winter, but nice in the summer, you know.
Quite apart from the market providing essential, affordable, fresh fruit and vegetables and fish, it also provides a stepping stone for new entrepreneurs into an unequal world. For example, Tesco's started out as a market stall in Hackney, and Lord Sugar started in Ridley Road Market.
I've only been trading for about a few months, but my dad's been here just under 20 years. The market has been truly embedded in my memories. I remember coming here and doing my shopping with all my family. We can get absolutely everything from this market, so it's perfect.
I've been in the market for long, for over 20 years now. I love business so much that I haven't done anything since I came to this country than my little business here. The market is different people meeting together. In the afternoon, we share everything together, even share food together. It's like a family market.
It's so friendly, everyone will just say hello to you. When you walk in, you just say good morning to everybody, and the same thing when you go home, like everyone works together, and you know, like it feels like a really, how do I say this, like close community. You're not a stranger in this market, like everyone knows you.
I'm not against for them to redevelop the market, but they should give a reason why they're doing this, because I don't even have enough to start another place, because I would like to stay here and then continue what I'm doing.
I think that the market could do with a revamp, and change is good. Change is good, as long as they don't kick the old out just for the new, and they keep the old and bring in the new.
Number one, if you love Ridley Road Market, is to come here, shop here, talk to traders, and be part of the community that makes this place thrive.
There are so many people from different cultures, and I think it's one of the oldest markets in London. And I hear lots of stories that people coming into my shop who are 70, 80 years old, they're saying they've been coming here last 40, 50 years. Or I hear a lot of stories that they've been coming with their grandparents when they were a child.
When I first came down the market, I was 7 years old. My dad brought me down as a boy. And then eventually, I took over from my dad. The market, for me, is special because the people you work with, you get a nice bond with them. And it's the same as with your customers. Because you've been serving them for so many years, they become like a big family.
We're now faced with an option. If the community doesn't come together to prevent the gentrification of Ridley Road, then we could very soon see the end of the street market altogether.
So our worry is that the planning application will be granted and substantial damage will be done to the local economy, to the cultural heritage of the market, despite these planning policies which say that they will protect and enhance the market.
Ridley Road as a street market has existed since the 1880s. It's changed with every generation of new working class people who have come into the borough. It's constantly changed every decade. And that's the kind of change that we want to continue to see. And that's the kind of change that if we can fight for it, we can continue to bring about.
Ridley Road Market is a home to so many people. It's an extended home. It's where people meet, where people connect, where people feel at home. And when I think of the future, I just know that this place needs to stay here and it's needed by the people who live here. And so I really hope that people keep connecting and keep uniting to keep Ridley Road the place it is now.
Whether you are from Asia, whether I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ghana, or maybe I'm from Pakistan, Afghanistan. We all work together as a team here, and this gives us the knowledge of each other. We talk together, we share different opinions, we laugh, we smile, and we know that we are one.
Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats, no way. Ridley Road, here to stay. Luxury flats.